on the free Fox Local app, on fox5atlanta.com, and even those of you who are watching on our Fox 5 Atlanta YouTube channel. You are going to be key to this conversation. I'm going to be able to see your comments in real time. So if there is a story that especially resonates with you, please leave us a comment there and ask your questions. We'll be sure to relay those on to the powers that be. That said, our top story this hour is a sad one. We begin with a DeKalb County firefighter killed in the line of duty. You're looking at a news conference right now as it's set to begin. It looks as though those investigators and fire crews are gathering. They're getting ready to tell us about an awful tragedy. If you've been listening to our newscasts, either on the air or on fox5atlanta.com, you know there was a fire yesterday at a DeKalb County warehouse, and unfortunately, a seasoned firefighter died in the line of duty. There are very few details at this hour as to what happened, what sparked the fire, or even who this firefighter is. So far, all we know is that he had worked for the department for about 21 years. As you can imagine, these firefighters are heartbroken. They do life-saving work. They're constantly sent to God only knows where. They're covering fires, yes, but they're also doing welfare checks. And every day, like other first responders, police officers, etc., they're risking their lives for us. This news conference is starting now. Let's listen in.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us today under these very difficult circumstances. We are here to provide an official update to honor the life of our fallen firefighter, a 20-year veteran of the DeKalb County Fire Department, who tragically lost his life in the line of duty yesterday. This morning, you will first hear from DeKalb County Fire Chief Darnell Fulham. Immediately following, DeKalb County CEO Lorraine Cochran Johnson. After their remarks, we will take a limited number of questions from the media. Please know that we will do our best to answer all questions, but this incident is under investigation. At this time, I would like to invite DeKalb County Fire Chief Darnell Fulham.
Good morning. Yesterday, Tuesday, September 8th, at approximately 1:30, DeKalb County Fire Rescue responded to a structure fire at 2569 South Stone Mountain, Lithonia Road. Over 12 units and 32 firefighters arrived on the scene to find smoke coming from a warehouse. While making an interior fire attack, Master Firefighter Preston Fant was overcome by fire conditions. Incident operations immediately switched to rescue operation, at which time Fant was located and removed from the structure. Life-saving efforts were started on scene. Fant was transported to Grady Hospital, where he succumbed to his injuries. Fant was an extraordinary firefighter who served at this very fire station for 21 years. He is part of a special group that are not only firefighters, but one who maintained technical skills to include swift water, high-rise, trench rescue, to name a few. We lost an elite firefighter and a brother. I ask you to keep his wife and 5 children and his entire family, as well as the DeKalb County Fire Rescue family, in your prayers and thoughts. This incident does remain under investigation. Thank you.
Good morning. Yesterday marked 30 days to the day that I first stood before you when tragedy found its way to DeKalb County. Today, once again, I stand before you. And today is again one of the hardest days in DeKalb County family's history. With heavy hearts, we now mourn the loss of one of our own, of Firefighter Gant, a 20-year veteran for DeKalb County who was highly respected by the men with whom he served. A firefighter who was elite in everything that he did. And once again, we have a wife without a husband. We have 5 incredible children without a father. Not only do we have a family that mourns, we as a DeKalb County family, we mourn. Firefighter Fant had the courage to do what is required. He ran towards danger, and in so doing, he succumbed to his injuries. For 21 years, he has served DeKalb County with pride. And today, I want to say that his bravery, that his sacrifice, and that his service will never be forgotten by those with whom he served or by DeKalb County. He was deeply respected by his colleagues. Many described him as a father figure. He was beloved by the community. To the Fant family, please know that you will not travel this road alone. DeKalb County stands with you. We will walk beside you. We will support you in each and every way possible. We will also continue providing grief support for our team. It's a very difficult thing to lose an individual with whom you serve. So today, as a county, we mourn. I'd also like to ask that everyone keep DeKalb County in its prayers. We have suffered the unfortunate loss of 2 frontline responders. And let this shine a light on the dedication and also the danger that individuals place themselves in each and every day so that we have comfort and we have stability. Every day, our frontline responders place their lives on the line. And today we are simply reminded of their extraordinary dedication and also the risk that they take. In Firefighter Fant's honor, we have lowered all flags to half-staff across DeKalb County. As we continue our efforts to honor his life, we will update the media and those who wish to pay the respect for which he is due. We will honor him not only with the ceremony, but by a continued commitment to protect and to serve our residents with the same vigor and courage that he has demonstrated. And though our hearts are heavy as a family, we will grieve together, we will honor him together, and DeKalb County will stand strong as a family. And thank you all for coming out this morning.
We'll take limited questions. Please keep in mind this is still an open investigation. Feel free to ask questions to Pete Fulham or the CEO, Cochran Johnson. Any questions? Can you guys tell us about the building?
Can you repeat the question?
Can you guys tell us about the building?
So it is a warehouse. As was stated, this is still an investigation to determine the actual occupants. as far as what type of business was being operated out of that building.
Chief, we're all very sorry for your loss. Can you tell us the last time you lost a firefighter in the line of duty?
So DeKalb County, as I know it, has not lost a firefighter in the line of duty to this extent, where we're talking about a firefighter that was actually lost during the incident. We did have a firefighter that incurred a heart attack many years ago, but as I know it, this is our first one that is to this extent.
Hey, did you know Mr. Firefighter Fox? And for you, I mean, who was he? What?
Yeah. So I did know. I would often see him he was a great firefighter. He was a great family man. Interestingly enough, where I normally saw him was on a fire scene. And after the incident was over, he would ask me about my son. He got to know my son. And that demonstrated who he was. Only a person who cares about family asks about other people's families. As was mentioned, he was an extraordinary firefighter. Working at this station, as I mentioned, all of the skill sets that they have to have that go beyond just being a firefighter, you have to have a commitment, you have to have a love to the job, and that's what he demonstrated.
I mean, what would be your message to his family right now?
You know, I had a chance to meet his family, unfortunately, last night at the hospital, and I spoke to each one of them, and I'll keep those words private, what I said to each one of them, but I told them that their dad was an incredible man. He was an incredible man. Not only was he not just an incredible firefighter, but he was an incredible man. And each one of that I spoke to, you know, I wasn't saying something that they didn't know. They knew that. They knew who he was.
And one last question from me. I mean, we've heard that maybe part of the building may have collapsed and that he kind of got stranded. I mean, can you speak to any of that? Exactly what happened here?
Yes.
How he got separated?
As I stated, we all want to know those answers, but it's still under investigation. And so in due time, we hope to know all the facts. But literally right now, there are investigators on the scene still trying to discover all the facts. Yeah. You know, when firefighters come to work each day, like others that are in this type of work, our brothers in blue, and the CEO mentioned, unfortunately, we lost an officer just 30 days, really, from yesterday. We often talk about leaving and hugging your family. I mean, I hugged my son a little bit closer, and I'm not even on the trucks this morning. But they do not know what they're going to face each day. They come to work ready to go, but they don't know what they're going to face. When they arrive on the scene, oftentimes that's when they find out exactly what they're dealing with. They take measured risks. It's not just risks, it's measured risks each and every day. The crew here, I talked about them being a special and elite group in that this unit that I'm standing in front of, they respond to almost the majority of our structure fire calls. And so they're always there. But they also handle things like swift water, high rise, trench rescue. So it's a special group that has to be dedicated to the job in a very special way.
Are there any factors with the warehouse that you can relate to? It's still an investigation. Are there any factors though that made this a little more challenging?
Yeah, and as I stated, it's still under investigation. We hope to find out those facts in the near future.
If you entered behind a wife and 5 children, are you able to tell us any more about the children's age range, their adults, young children?
We'll share that later. We did talk to the family. They know we're here. They know what we're doing today. What we're going to do right now is just surround them, put our arms around them, and support that family. There will be ways that others can support them. The public will be able to support them in the future. We'll make sure that information gets out to you all so you can share it.
And I know you talked about by fire conditions, is that smoke inhalation? Elaborate just a little bit on that.
So I'm going to wait on that information. We did transport Firefighter Fant to the ME's office. They will finish their investigation, and we will share that information in the future.
Was he the only one that was hurt?
He was the only one that was hurt to this degree, obviously. I believe we had one other firefighter that may have been injured at the scene, that was treated at the scene.
Do you know what the initial cause of the fire was at this time?
That's under investigation.
Do you have any questions other than about the
As a father figure, you know, I met a firefighter yesterday who's actually left our department and went to another, but he found it important to come to the hospital, and he shared that the reason why he was a firefighter was because of Fant. So he truly was somebody who was looked upon as a leader, as a role model.
Chief, I know the fire is still under investigation, but do you have any reason to believe it's suspicious in any way?
I'm going to leave it at it's just under investigation at this point.
any other questions other than about the current investigation?
Will there be a GoFundMe or any kind of a fund like that set up for the family?
Yes, and we will make sure we share that information, the official sites that the public can donate to the family.
Is there a memorial plan? Is there a date?
There's not a date yet, but we will have a memorial.
Is there anything you can share about when your firefighters go into warehouses and what they're looking for, what they are on, you know, the kind of thought process? I'm sure it might be different than a house.
Yes. Every structure has its uniqueness and its unique risks. So obviously a warehouse, the size that it is, the exit points makes it different than others. What's inside that warehouse affects how they can respond. But all these become part of the measured risks. When they arrive on scene, they assess before they make what we call a fire attack. So in any incident, any type of building, there has to be that assessment done before we commit firefighters.
Can your team get us a photo of the firefighter that
We absolutely will.
Thank you.
Thank you all for being here on behalf of DeKalb County Fire Rescue and CEO Lorraine Cochran Johnson. Thank you for helping us honor our firefighter in his incredible service of over 21 years. We do ask for continued respect of privacy for the Fant family and for his fire rescue family as they grieve this tremendous loss. Details regarding funeral and memorial services, as well as opportunities to contribute to the family, will be shared as they're finalized. We will also do an official press release following this that will contain information as well as a picture. So thank you again for your time, your compassion, and your support for DeKalb County Fire Rescue. Thank you.
You were just listening to DeKalb County officials as they honor the DeKalb County firefighter who died in the line of duty while attacking a fire at a warehouse. We now know who that firefighter was. His name is Preston Fant. And just as we wrap this up, I want to give you some context as to who he was. He was a 21-year veteran. He leaves behind a wife and 5 children. He was specially trained. His chief called him an elite firefighter who was trained to work in swift water, high rise, and other rescues. And flags are lowered at half staff in honor of his life and the legacy he leaves behind, which is a powerful one, because we just heard from Fire Chief Darnell Fulham, who said that there was another firefighter who used to work for DeKalb County who left but worked for a different fire department and came back amid this tragedy just to say that this firefighter, Preston Fant, is the very reason why he got into the profession. It's a very solemn day in DeKalb County as leaders there acknowledge that they were just putting another firefighter, a first responder, to rest not even a month ago. So we're going to keep you posted on any developments such as a cause of that fire as soon as it becomes available. You can look for an update both on air but also online, and we will be right back after this. Can you hear me? Are you learning anything new?
Well, Alex, good morning to you. Big picture, we are in the Vine City neighborhood. This is an apartment complex where, unfortunately, a number of families now have to look for a new place to live. Take a look behind me. This fire happened early this morning right here on Magnolia Way. This is the apartment building, and when you take a look at the damage, there are multiple windows blown out, and up at the top, the roof, you can see the hole right up at the top there, and that is where obviously those flames were shooting out. Just the power of this fire that happened early this morning. Here's what we know. We know at least 8 people were sent to the hospital after this apartment complex fire. We spoke to a number of people here who were forced to evacuate their homes. A total of 12 families are now being displaced, according to investigators, after this fire got sparked. We are told that the flames started on the 2nd floor, but then obviously quickly grew into a different area going up to the 3rd floor. And if you take a look slightly to the left over here, there's a satellite dish, a DirecTV satellite dish. That is where we're told a family with young kids were staying, and that's where they had to go to the hospital because of obviously injuries from this fire. Several people had to be rescued. I spoke to a woman earlier, just maybe about 20-30 minutes ago, who told me that she actually had to shimmy down from her 3rd floor all the way down to the ground and to be able to get out before firefighters got here. She then said she ran down the street to try to wave them down so that she can get them to this apartment complex and to this specific apartment building so that they can get help here as quickly as possible. She was talking about just how quickly firefighters arrived on scene, and a number of residents have actually gone in over the last few hours and trying to salvage what they can. A lot of people said there's a lot of water damage, but I want to take you attention back to the woman who said that she had to actually kind of jump to safety, shimmy her way down from the 3rd floor balcony. Take a listen to what she told me.
Smoke everywhere, so that's why we couldn't see anything. So then the flames started coming, like really like where that little balcony thing is from the stairs. So once I realized it was on this level, I'm all the way at the top. So I'm like, okay, we gotta get out. So I go to the balcony, jump down, I climb over the balcony, and when I climbed over, I slid down to the 2nd floor. When I slid down to the 2nd floor balcony, I stayed there for about maybe 2 minutes, caught my breath, said a little prayer, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go down for the next one. And when I went down, I didn't make it to the next balcony because I knew I would hit that satellite dish. So I just took it to the ground from the 2nd floor.
Yeah, and back out here live again, we are showing you the shot of her unit, which is the 3rd floor on the far right side there. She was able to come down to the 2nd floor, caught her breath, and got down to the 1st floor. She did suffer some injuries. She showed me some of her bruises that she's dealing with. After our interview, she actually said she was going to go to urgent care to get checked out. But I want to tell you something, and this is at least a silver lining here. At this point, we don't know of any deaths, but obviously we do know of some injuries, people having to go to the hospital. She told me that she was able to go back in to her unit after firefighters extinguished that fire. She told me there was one thing of importance in there that she wanted to get back, and that was her mother's ashes. She did get those ashes back, and she is thankful for that. But obviously, she said a lot of her unit is a total loss, and she tried to salvage some other things, but she said there's a lot of water damage in there, Alex. Obviously, traumatic for a lot of people. But again, the news that we know, 8 people taken to the hospital, 12 total families involved in this fire. Thankfully, though, at this point, we have not heard of any deaths.
All I hear is miracles. I know that as we cover news, we're often focusing on the negativity, right? There was a fire. People have to upend their lives here. But I'm listening to a woman who shimmied her way out of a fire, who was able to jump to safety, a family who's displaced, but they still have each other. That's beautiful, and I appreciate you finding these people, letting them tell these stories, because we cover fires so often, but it's not often that we're able to hear a firsthand account of how people truly survived. So thank you for that, Tyler. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
It sounds like he had something else to say. I welcome it. Tyler, are you still there?
Yeah. when she was telling me about how she was able to get her mother's ashes, we cover a lot of negative stories. I was really, when she initially started telling the story about how her mother's ashes were up there, and I was like listening to her during this interview, and I was actually praying for her that she was able to get it. And when she got to the point of the story where she said she was able to go up there and grab her mother's ashes, I felt for her. That obviously great news for her, because that's something that you don't want to lose. It's not something you can replace. A lot of things that enter people's apartments and people's homes, I know for me, there's not much that I need to have. There are things I want to have because they have sentimental value, but they're not things you have to have. And something like your mother's ashes, you can't replace those. And so for the fact that she was able to get that and be able to be reunited with that, and that's something that she at least can have as she now goes on in her life, having to now find somewhere else to live, at least temporarily, or until this apartment complex is able to get these units back up and running. It's obviously heartbreaking, but in this case, she was able to get that. And there's at least a silver lining here, that you may have lost everything, but at least you have something of sentimental value that you cannot replace. And for something like that, I mean, I think a lot of people who have ashes from their families and their parents, that's something you don't want to lose, and she was able to get it.
Yeah. I would consider what you just said positioning the positive. You're focusing on the fact that that's priceless. So thank you, Tyler, as always. Well, we also want to take your attention to some more need, right? There's plenty of that in the world. But now we're talking about a diaper drive. So if you would just allow me a moment to make sure that we have Atlanta Councilmember Jason Winston here on the line with us. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you well.
Great.
How are you?
I hear you loud and clear. Love to hear it, literally. So let's get into this. Anyone who has kids, they don't need me to say that they're expensive before they even get out of the womb, right? The doctor's appointments, then when they do get here, diapers, etc., clothes, all of the things you need for a crib. So how is your team working to help these new families?
Yeah, and I'm glad you're bringing this critical need to light. So I'm partnering with a nonprofit organization called Helping Mamas. And what they do is they distribute diapers to those in need. Families are in pinches right now where we're seeing the rising cost of just everyday goods. And diapers is one of those. And I know firsthand how much these diapers cost. I've had two kids in diapers at the same time. Luckily, I just got one of them out of them. But, I know what families are dealing with firsthand. And so I just wanted to make sure that we were addressing this critical need in our city, and specifically in my district, where we'll be doing a diaper drive to collect diapers for those that need them.
Well, I know you yourself are a dad, correct?
That's correct. Got two wonderful young girls,
How old are they?
3, and my oldest just turned 5 2 days ago.
Okay, so it wasn't too long ago that they were in diapers.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so you know just how expensive that can be firsthand. But can you give me more on what inspired you to create this drive?
Yeah, so what inspired me, actually, I partnered with Helping Mamas through a friend, and got to see firsthand what these diaper drives look like. And so they bring in a lot of these supplies. Last year, we brought in over 6,000 diapers. But then after that, we have a distribution where we give them to those that really need them. And it was a very humbling experience. It was below 30 degrees, my last diaper distribution, and we had moms lined up 30 minutes before we were actually able to give them away. And so for me, just seeing how critical this need is, how desperate some folks are to just get what essentially was just a week worth of diaper supplies for their family, is something that has been really moving for me. And especially seeing it firsthand, having two girls in diapers at the same time, I knew firsthand how expensive it was to be able to, make sure that they had diapers when they needed them.
So this is an upcoming event, correct? People haven't missed out on their opportunity if they're just now tuning in. They will have a chance to snag some of this free stuff.
Yeah, so right now we're just doing a drive at this moment where we're asking individuals to come out to 8 locations. We've got 8 wonderful businesses in my district that have signed up to be distribution sites. But right now they have bins at their locations where people can drop off diapers, baby supplies. We're even taking feminine hygiene products as well. So you can be able to go in one of these 8 locations. People can go to atlantadistrict1.com, where we have those businesses listed in my district where you can drop off diapers. They can even be loose, unused diapers that you can also drop off as well.
I'm looking at your press release right now in my notes, and just in case people are curious as to what kind of businesses we're talking about, we've got 3 Parks Wine Shop on Bill Kennedy Way, Black Coffee ATL on Jonesboro Road, Grant Park Coffee House, Finca to Filter, Peoplestown Coffee Bar. So these are places that people are naturally passing by anyway. We all need our
Yes.
coffee and sustenance to get through the workday. So if you do have any extra supplies, it sounds like you can just stop by, drop them off, and keep going about your day.
Yeah, I would love for folks to be able to stop by one of these businesses. Most of them are all in the District 1 area. So we've got always north as Glenwood Park near my district, and as south as Lakewood with Black Coffee. And so really excited to have these businesses participating. I'm so grateful for them being part of the community and being part of this drive where we're trying to collect as many diapers as possible so we can really help folks. I mean, our nonprofits are really struggling right now. And so it's more critical than ever for us to be able to help and lift them up in a critical time.
Councilmember Jason Winston, we certainly appreciate your time. And I know the people who will receive these diapers will appreciate it too, even if they can't say it.
Yes,
Not
exactly.
yet.
So we'll be collecting diapers through September the 26th. Please go to that website that we mentioned to be able to find out more information.
Great. Thank you so much. As always, we appreciate your time.
All right. Thank you so much.
Well, we hope you'll stay with us because we've got lots more to cover. Remember those 2021 spa shootings? We're going to take you to the courtroom where the convicted killer is being considered for the death penalty. Stay with us. Five. Welcome back to Fox 5 on Fox Local. Thank you so much for checking in with us. You are looking live at a groundbreaking ceremony for a new Atlanta police precinct. Of course, you know Atlanta police say crime is down these days, and that is thanks in large part to the number of officers who are out there on the streets. So you are seeing crews right now as they dig in, as they begin to start building this new police precinct. We do have a teammate on the ground there, Dave Killebrew. I don't think he can hear me right now, but I just wanted to make sure that you can see this image of news happening right now where you live. These officers are going to have another place to start doing their hard work to make sure Atlanta is a safe place for us all. I'm listening in, I'm hearing some of this. They sound excited.
Everybody's gonna get their shot. Here we go. Big smiles right there. Everybody get your shot, please. Got it? Okay, on the count of 3, we're gonna throw it, but shallow. You don't have to take a shower over here. All right, here we go, ready, and on the count of 3, throw. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Yeah. Thank you.
Let's do the construction teams.
still wearing their hard hats, but I do believe that is Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens among the folks who are digging into the ground, getting ready to start building a new Atlanta police precinct. So just in case you're wondering, where is this happening? I have some notes in front of me. It looks like this happened at the Zone 4 main precinct. The event, as you know, happening now. It looks like at 1125 Cascade Circle Southwest in Atlanta. So again, another opportunity for Atlanta police to quite literally get their boots on the ground, as we know they've done quite a bit this past summer, to try to make sure that our streets are safe. We'll check back in a bit later throughout our news coverage, not just here on Fox Local, fox5atlanta.com, and our YouTube page, but we're also going to be following more on this when you join us for Fox 5 News at 4, 5, and 6 o'clock. That said, I want to pivot now and talk about reading. It's one of my greatest loves in life. Hopefully you can relate, and hopefully your kids, if you have them, can too, at least the young people in your life. The big question is, how do you get them to love reading from an early age as opposed to our cell phones, a tablet, video games? Well, I spoke with someone, a mom, an award-winning publisher, about how to do just that. Listen in.
And I think we know that early childhood literacy is linked to everything from academic success and social emotional skills, physical and mental health, and longer life expectancy. And the single most powerful thing that parents can do is to start reading aloud and having a story time habit as part of their routine. So right from birth, get that little baby and start reading aloud. It builds their brain connections, introduces them to the rhythm of language, and it's fun. It creates great bonds for the parent and the child.
And how often should parents be doing this? Is this an everyday thing? The more the merrier?
The more the merrier. I mean, you know, there's a lot of studies that'll show, there's a talk about the 1 million word gap and kids showing up to kindergarten that have been read to, you know, 1 time a day up to 5 times a day, which would be amazing, having heard 1 million more words than kids that are not read to. So I think, you know, as much as you can integrate it into your life, the better. Have books around. You know, it's hard for parents to sit down all the time, but just even introducing books as something that's interesting, right? Model the behavior yourself. If you read, you know, like I said, have books around in the playroom, in your living room, in your diaper bag. You know, set up a cozy book nook for kids to enjoy reading.
Yeah, I'm looking at your cozy corner right now, and it just makes me think of how if you make it look fun, your kids will want to be a part of it. Think of the times that you've been to the bookstore and that children's book section is so bright and engaging. Of course, that can be expensive to redo your whole house for that. But what are some of the other things that people can do to make reading seem fun for their kids?
So there's a bunch of new tools out there now too that you know, support independent exploration and let kids take control of story time. There's audio books that you can pair with you know, a physical book. We've just launched a new product called the Luna Storytime Projector, which projects stories onto the walls and lets the kids follow along with the reading, which is just a way for them to take control of story time and for you to get more story time into their day. You know, it's not a replacement for reading to them, but it's another great tool for them to infuse more stories into their everyday life.
I absolutely love reading, and seeing that looks really cool for me as a grown adult.
Yes,
that looks like an experience for the parents as well. Yeah. I want to point out something else. You've mentioned story time and how I imagine it's a great bonding experience for a mom and baby, dad and baby, parents and baby. But does it matter who is reading to the child? If you take your child to the library, for example, and they're doing a special story time, how can that help?
I think it's great to just expose them to a diverse narration. You know, I mean, someone who's going to read at the library or a librarian that takes that over has probably got a different style than mom, different voices, different techniques. I think the library is a fabulous place to take kids. Let them pick out their own books. You know, if they're interested in dinosaurs, let them pick up books about dinosaurs. You know, as my kids got older, you know, they loved graphic novels. And I think some parents sometimes feel like, oh, well, that's not what I want them reading. I want them reading Harry Potter. I feel like any reading is learning, so just let them read whatever they're interested in. You know, sports books, if I have 3 boys, so, you know, if there's books about sports they want to read, I think that's great.
Yeah, and it does come naturally, right? There's a time that you want the books with textures or flaps or little mirrors, and then they'll naturally grow out of that. So it sounds like you're saying as long as they've had a book around them from the beginning, this can be something that they take with them for the rest of their lives.
I think absolutely. And if, again, you see your parents, modeling that behavior, enjoying reading a book, maybe setting aside time, maybe not daily, but, a couple times a week to put the screens down, curl up with a book. I think it's really powerful example for kids. And, I think there is so much out there that they can explore, on their own with books that are safe too. I mean, mom knows what the content generally is, and it's contained, so it's kind of a nice quiet time.
Once you get hooked on reading, there's really no turning back. Sky's the limit. We're going to be right back with any news you might have missed right after this. Welcome back. Right now, convicted spa shooter Robert Aaron Long is in a courtroom for his high-profile death penalty case. Not even 3 minutes ago, the court resumed. They just came back from recess. We've been mentioning this all morning, so we want to listen in to see what it is they have to say.
Experience has been from the standpoint of advocacy from the defense side, correct?
Exactly.
So trying to give a fuller picture in the hopes that the defendant would receive a lesser sentence. Right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. In that vein, when you were referring to the purposes of a life story, you were referring to the negatives that come with an ecological perspective and what might happen that are negative in a person's life, correct?
Yes.
And so potentially presenting the absence of those negatives would be bad mitigation evidence, potentially.
I think there are too many negatives in this sentence.
Yeah, if you were to present a life story that omitted those negatives, that might be counterproductive from a mitigation standpoint, correct? If you were to tell a jury this person had a wonderful upbringing, this person had no gang influence, this person had no deficits in their nutrition and things of that nature, that might not be good mitigation evidence, correct?
Might not, but it could be very positive information about the individual that shows that what.
you to repeat your answer, please?
Yeah, I'll try. I think if one had only positive experiences, it would just be a different kind of mitigation presentation. Then I think you would then probably be arguing
have
what an
technical
aberration.
difficulties too. You were just listening into some of the high-profile death penalty case for Robert Aaron Long. He's the convicted spa shooter, and we're going to have much more on this, what's happening in court, and what the outcome is when you join us for some of our other newscasts. One that's coming up in just a couple of moments, Fox 5 News at noon. You can look for all the latest details on Fox 5 News at 4, 5, and 6 o'clock. Thank you so much for choosing to tune in to Fox 5 on Fox Local. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Have a great day.